You can hear me all right, and hopefully, now that I've got a proper tripod, we'll get a bit more of a steady stream for you. I'd say it's about 2 minutes to start. Up there at the end, you can see Johnny, the coach. Actually, that's the 5-minute warning. So if any of you want to make yourself a cup of tea, I'll stay live here.
Great. Thank you. Of course.
I'm going to pan across to piece 26, where we can see Liz and Shirley warming up for their game against Hungary. You can follow that on Scottish Petanque People. We're on YouTube here, so take effect.
Come on, Scott.
Message of encouragement from Robbie there. The whistle's gone, so they're about to start. It's Scotland's Kosh. So there's the first Kosh of the day. Not unusual for Jackson to follow the line. The white Kosh, which may not be ideal, also maybe not ideal that Jack's standing right in the way, but you can just see the Kosh there to the left of Jack's leg. Robbie to make the first point. So there's a cracker from Rob to kick it off. Maybe 50 centimeters short to the right as we're looking at it. So yeah, the Turkish players caught that one just on the edge, enough to push it out of bounds. But both ball have gone dead, so Turkey will point. So yeah, that's a fairly decent ball, probably a metre short, the short of a metre short, to the right and on the line. Not considered worthy of a shot by Scotland. Well, Robbie took a kick there and he's skidded on and out. So it'll be Robbie at a point again. That one's run through a bit. Not clear who's holding, to me at least. Yeah, I think that's run through from Robbie as well. So that's a point. Currently 4 ball play 3, 4 for Turkey, 3 for Scotland. Turkey holding with that front ball. Oh, and Jack kicks to the right, knocks out the Turkish front ball and has moved in a very strong point in position. Wry smile from Jack then. Not sure if that's what he planned, but he'll take it. That's for certain. So now 4 balls for Turkey, 2 for Scotland, but Scotland hold those 2 because he's sitting on the ground. And he's missed the first shot there. Much more even position in this first end now with Turkey 3 ball, Scotland 2, Turkey 2 on the ground, Turkey essentially forced a point now. Yeah, he's taken second there. That might be deemed enough for the Turkey to shoot again. 2 plays 2 now. Scotland's holding first and third, Turkey second. It was made Caro there, pushed the Kosh back, but also carried out of bounds. So it's basically 2 ball on the park. Scotland has second, Turkey has first, Turkey has 1, Scotland has 2. So Jack may fancy the shot here. Yeah, he's made that well. He dropped a little bit short, but that served to make the palette a certain thing. So that's 2 on the ground, 1 ball left each. Turkey at a point. And it seems like at worst, Jack is going to have a shot for 2. Now he's run through. I'm not sure whether he's definitely beaten our back ball there. Not sure whether they're. Yep, they're just taking the shot with that. But essentially, Jack has a shot for 2, or obviously 3 with Palat Otaro. Oh, it's just gone over the top of that one. So 1 for Turkey. Unlucky there, but Scotland got themselves in a position where they could take points. So that's encouraging. So it's Turkish kosh. It's thrown at about, well, let's say 9 meters. Hard to judge, as I said earlier on these pieces, but I'd say 8.5, 9 probably. So there's your first ball from Turkey. Again, hard distance to judge, but I'd say that's at least a meter short and to the right. So an obvious point for Rob. Yeah, I think he's made it there. He's hit a hollow, but quite a thud there, and it kicked a little bit to the left, but his length was excellent. Probably sitting 60 centimeters to the left, kind of aligned lengthwise with the jack. Oh, so essentially the Turkish player's ball pitched just behind his front one and leapfrogged the front one, which just slows its path down enough to leave it as a decent ball, 20, 30 centimeters to the right of the kosh. So Jack will shoot here. Just missed to the right. I think the throw's good. Two ball plays each. I suspect they'll opt to shoot again. There's Jack warming up, or part of Jack anyway. And this time slightly to the left as well. Playing with Jack as I do, I know that he's not far away from beginning to hit them. So here's Robbie to point. Scotland's fourth ball. And that one went away a bit. Kicked away. You can see Robbie indicating with his foot that it kicked away. So an important point here for Rob. I think that's done it. It may just have rolled through. It's certainly a decent ball. Both teams looking at this in terms of the measure. It looks to me like Turkey are going to play, so they've conceded the point. Turkey's third ball. He was closer to the kosh than he was to the ball there, which would have been good news for Scotland given the current ball count. Turkey 3 ball left, Scotland 1. Shot again, and as I thought it was quite likely he'd pick up the kosh. And that's still a decent result for us given the ball count. So it stays at 1-0 to Turkey. So here we are. That's a fairly drastic change in kosh length. I'd be Guessing, yeah, I'd be guessing it's pretty close to 6, that. Probably just on, but that's me guessing. Yeah, Robbie seems to think that 6 is, well, that's on the button at 6, so we'll play this end. Decent shot there from Turkey. 50 centimetres short of the jack, not quite in line, but it's also one of those ones that looks beatable too. So I'd say it's a decision for them. They decided to go for the shot. I think that's what I would have done. Yeah, Jack's made it, and he's made palette as well. So ideal start there. So Turkey shot back there, which is understandable, but he's clipped the ball and actually left Jack's holding the ball still in a relatively decent position, 60, 70 centimetres behind the cross to the left. Yeah, he's put that back in front. You never more 50 centimetres from the front. Looks like a straightforward decision for Jack and Robbie. Jack will shoot. Again, lovely from Jack. He made Caro with a bit of spin forward. Probably saw it there, pushed the Jack forward, which has left him with a great front ball, but also brought his second ball into a far better position. So he couldn't really have had a better outcome there. So interesting decision for Turkey. The ball are against them. They're 4 balls to 3 down, and Scotland holds 2. He decided to shoot the front one. Obviously makes way for the potential point more easily. He was possibly hoping, or at least contemplating the idea that he might have picked up the Jack too, because killing the end at this point would have been good for Turkey. Yeah, he's run through with that. So 1 ball left for Turkey. Turkish ball there ran through about 75, 80 centimetres. So Jack's ball still holds on the right. Scotland still was 4 in hand. So it's just looking like a decent opportunity for Scotland. So that's one of those not holding, but in the way. With Scotland holding as many ball as they do in hand, one option would be a shoot, but it is lined up. The second option would be for Robbie to point now and see where they sit in a shot or two's time. So Robbie's first point of this end, he's got 3 ball, Jack's got 1. Turkey are out. Lovely point there from Robbie. Filled that in because of where Jack was positioned. He probably saw the result of that shot rather than the rest of it. But holding 2, bit of a discussion going on. I think what Jack's decided to do is he can shoot now. Before those 2, there was a chance of knocking out both together. Now there would have been a chance, even if that has happened, of obviously Robbie's point ball still holding. But now that Scotland hold 2, with Robbie 2 in hand, I'd be surprised to see anything other than 2 points here. Yeah, he's made the first one. He seems to have the way in there. Oh, and that one just seemed to catch the other side of a hill and not curl in, but still, I think that's going to be 3 for Scotland. Decent way to get off the mark. So in 4, we've had a dead end. Turkey scored 1 in the first, Scotland 3 in the third. Jack just threw the cosh there. It's probably just over 8 meters, 8.5, I would say. Lovely line there for Rob, but he did run through a little bit, I'd say about 8 centimeters by the cosh. The Turkish bulls come up short. My eye tells me that's it might well be a measure. No, it's too short. So Turkey to throw again. That second Turkish bull just a little bit, oh, sorry, the third Turkish bull just a little bit further forward than his previous one. It's quite a bit of a barricade there, so it looks like Jack's going to try and shoot that. Obviously, Scotland got 5-3 bull advantage as it stands. Oh, he's just going over the top of that. Yeah, I think they're going to shoot again. It doesn't look like that straightforward a point. That's a good hit from Jack. Slightly unfortunate in that I think he tickled his back ball on his follow through and probably just pushed that into second place where previously it held first. But it's a more manageable point now with that line opened up for Robbie. Oh, he's just stopped much quicker than I think he would have expected, or maybe slightly under pitched it. There's a bit of change in ball count now. 3 Turkish balls, 2 Scottish ball. Oh, and I don't know if you saw that closely enough. The ball, Robbie's ball, did a little dance really around the front Turkish ball, and now holds by dint of being just in front of it. So I think the first point for the Turkish shooter is pushed back. It's pushed back. Trying the left-hand side, and can't understand why he thought about it, but it didn't look like the right side to play to me. And as a result, he's kicked off fairly sharply to the left. So We're holding with the front ball and probably third position as well. And I think that's come up short. So I sense that what we're looking at is a point from Jack. Robbie just kind of indicating the potential width there. So one on the ground, and Jack, the final ball of this end, looking to make it 2 for Scotland. Looks like it could do. Oh, I think it's just probably gone through too far. They'll have a look at that, but I suspect it's just rolled through. Yep, that's one. But Scotland leads 4-1, 5 ends plays. Sorry, 4 ends plays. So Jack throwing the flush there. Looks to me like 7.5 meters, I guess. Decent first ball from Robbie there. You probably didn't see much of the action because of where Jack was standing. I'll have a little move around here, but you'll see there the ball is sitting about 60 meters short of the Jack, maybe 50 centimeters short of the Jack. Just off line to the right. It was good enough to force the Turks to shoot, but they've missed it. Second one's made the hit. Not quite clear who's now holding. Yeah, Scotland's still holding. So the Turkey will be forced to play their third ball. Not much for you to see at the moment there, I'm afraid, because of the way the players are standing. Yeah, the Turkish point has put a really good ball in there. 15 centimeters to the left as he looks at it. Jack will shoot. Yeah, it's a great shot from Jack. Just dropped his hand a bit. Made the pillar. So technically Scotland's hold 2 on the ground just now. Yep, Turkish point has put it back. Jack to shoot. Oh, and he's just held on to that one a little bit. Still a shot though. Oh, he's missed it again. So it's a wee bit disappointing, but 2 ball play 2. It's still arguably a shot for Robbie. Well, a quick chat with the coach there. 2 ball plays 2. Scotland have second and third, although a long way away. Depends how they're feeling. I think they'll be tempted to shoot this. The ball's close. Yeah, Robbie's knocked that well out of the way. So we'll see Turkey obviously point this back with, I guess, depending on how close it is, an option for Robbie to shoot or to point after that. Now, he's pushed that through quite a long way. I think if that had been closer or even that far in front, then Robbie might have been tempted to shoot. But now we can, now we should be at 0.1 in. Yeah, that's a good shot by Robbie. The only issue being when if that ball is shot and it picks up the cosh, which it seems likely to do, who will be sitting at the back and where exactly the cosh might lie. Yeah, so it's been pushed back. I think it's been pushed back so that Turkey holds at least one. Looks to me like Scotland are second with the ball that Jack's looking at now. Yeah, they're going to be measuring between the ball to the left there, or straight in front of the camera as we look now. One which is sitting behind the surface point, the other one there, which is just kind of over his foot level with his knee as we look. So, yep, Turkey picks up 2 points there, courtesy of the cross roll. Because really anything could have happened if it had pushed another 2 or 3 feet back. Jack had 2 ball waiting for it. So, 4-3. Turkey's reverted to a shorter cross here. Yep, very decent there. Right on the cross there from the Turkish pointer. Only one thing that Jack will be thinking of here. It's just gone over the top of that. It's clipped that way onto the line. I think he'd have been hoping to have killed the Jack there. But at least it's out of the picture, even though it still holds. That's just gone through a bit from Robbie. 80 centimetres long. I wondered whether for a moment with the Turkish being bull up, whether he was going to consider shooting it anyway, but he's decided on a slightly more conservative course of action, so no point. Yeah, he's pointed well. That was right in front of the cosh as well. So it's one of those ones where if Jack makes the hit and the cosh goes, then that's very positive for Scotland. But if the cosh doesn't go, there could be some risk attached here. Yeah, he's hit it, and he's actually skipped the cosh onto the back ball, Robbie's back ball. So that's a good result, actually. First choice probably would have still to be a kill the cosh because the surface chef fought a 2 ball advantage here. Well, but now he's missed, so that's a slightly different picture. Again, over the top, similar shot to the one that Jack missed with. Jack came back well there with two good shoots after that. Much better shot there from the Turkish shooter. It's made Caro. It's now 2 plays 2, but Turkey have 2 on the ground. So I suspect it's defensive from here. Obviously, anything lining up with the shot ball will be ideal. That stopped a bit in the soft dirt. You can see the pitch mark there. It's really sucked most of the life out of the ball. Robbie and Jack are now looking to see if they hold second, but it looks to me as if it's a very strong chance. Looks like he still hold two. I'm not sure though. That was an interesting and probably good shot, good choice. That suggests to me that Scotland are now holding with that front ball and also in third. It may have been as much about getting rid of one of the scoring Turkish balls as anything else there. Turkey will shoot back. He's made the hit. He's pushed it onto Robbie's back full. So Turkey hold one, and I can't see any other option or choice for them but to try and point me out for two. Yep, we would have lost this point in card if we didn't make that. So that's two for Turkey, bringing the score to 5-4 for Turkey. Everything to play for here. I have a feeling that Scotland's women are doing very, very well against Hungary. I've been not leading anyone astray here, but I'm pretty sure it's 12-3 to Scotland. That game's showing on Facebook, on the Scottish Petanque People page. So, big long cosh there. They've been varying the distance, whether that's through intention or error. It's not quite clear, but it looks like we were back to 9 meters, I'd say here. Turkish point has bounced through a little bit there. He seemed to have found his groove on those slightly shorter points. So see if this distance makes any difference. Here's Robbie. That took short. I think that he just held on to that a tiny bit. It's not clear who holds. But it is now. So Scotland to play again. I think that one has just rolled in, and if it has, it's in a really good position. So that's a great shot from Robbie. Remembering we're playing a slightly longer distance here. Robbie's rule about 25. What was I going to say? About 60 centimeters short of the jack. Yeah. So the Turkish team have deemed it worthy of a shoot. A good hit. Both ball have gone. So Robbie will look essentially to put it back. It's not quite clear. That ball's just pushed up and touched on to the other front one that Robbie had there. It looks like it's not quite made it. Jack's tempted now, I think, to push them, and partly obviously because progressing one of them would be nice, but just as importantly, if he can get a couple in the area, then that would reduce the size of any loss this end. Yeah, he's made that well. So that's kind of what I was saying there. He's definitely taken the point. Yeah, yeah. I suspect that that's exactly what Jack's done. He's definitely holds the front ball, and we think the ball sitting to the side as we look at it there. His shot too. Great point though from Turkey. Presents a bit of an issue for Scotland because they're ball down with 2-ball against 3. Having said that, unlikely to beat the point. Could pick up the cosh with the hit. Yeah. He has a couple of working outcomes here for Scotland. And obviously the hit is the priority. But there we are. He's hit the cosh instead. As we said, caution ball was a pretty decent tactic there, and that's exactly what he's done. Jack's now trying to pretend that he was actually going for the cosh, but we'll take it anyway because he was in the area. So stays at 5-4 to Turkey. So yeah, on this 7-meter jack, Turkish pointer, who's generally pointed well, is back to business. Oh, Jack's just popped over the top on that one. Yeah, he's made it with the second though. Fortunately, his ball just pushed over the dead ball line to the left. So Robbie will point now. Yeah, it's a beauty from Rob. Matter of centimetres in front of the flush, slightly to the left. Obviously, we expect a shootout. Yeah, and his made carrow. He's actually recoiled further than would be ideal for him, but yeah, good, strong, solid shot for a Turkish shooter. Yeah, Robert's put it back, not quite as close as the last one, but in front to the left. Half a metre, I'd imagine. Maybe slightly closer than that. Yeah, so on this short distance, the Turkish shooters hit quite a rhythm. So it's 3 plays 2, and probably more concerningly 3 on the ground. So obviously something which lined up right with the cosh here would be perfect. Yeah, he's made the shot. He's made the shoot too. But although that was a successful shot and bad news for Scotland, it could have been even worse. His shooting ball went out of bounds, and not that it may matter. He's also pushed one of us on the ball further back. So although Scotland still holds, sorry, Turkey still holds 3 and ball advantages of 2-1. Slightly better situation than before. The issue here now really is how to make it most difficult for those last 2 Turkish ball. Yeah, I think he's trying to line that up with the Kosh, which was an understandable shot. If he could have, he lines it up with the Kosh either going dead or to his back ball. But as it stands, the Turkish point, he will now step in to shoot. He's got 2 ball. That's his first shot of the game, though. Yeah, he's made it. But he's at least, from our point of view, holding 2. But the fact earlier that I referenced that their third ball had pushed back deeper meant that Jack's ball didn't travel past it, limiting the damage to centre 3, which, although not great for Scotland, could have been significantly worse given the ball's counted situation on one stage. So it's 8-4. There's your Kosh there. 8 metres, I'd say. Yeah, another good point from the Turkish player. Jack will shoot. It's literally grazed that. It's like the big smile there. Another one where he couldn't have got closer without hitting it. Great adjustment from the Jack. Spins back. Recoils. Effective carrow. Oh, that's a miss there from the Turkish player. So it's now 2 ball played each, with Scotland sitting 20 centimetres in front of the Kosh there. He's going to shoot again. Yeah, he's hit it this time. It's unclear which ball has travelled further. Yeah, the Scottish ball's travelled further, so it'll be Robbie to point. Yeah, it's drifted off to the right a bit there. 70 centimetres away from the Kosh. Turkish point inside ours. Bit of discussion going on. Ball count and options of whether to shoot or not. Yeah, the decision is to shoot. I think the ball counts even. That's a cracker from Jack. Scotland now holding with Robbie's previous point to the right there. But they also, I'll just pop down to see that this is Jack's ball, which is holding second. Oh, And that's a rare run through there from the Turkish pointer. You can see the situation there. Scotland holding probably second as well as first. Yeah, it's a good ball. Scotland have two in hands, both Robbies. And this is a shoot for two. The Robbies just skidded through. So last ball of the end. This is an important one. It's 8-4 for Turkey. But Scotland can pick up a couple with a hit here. 3 with a pull-up. Oh, and he's just gone by it. No, 1 for Turkey. That's 9-4. So that's a Turkish Kosh throw. Good first point from the Turkish there. I'm joined by Scott, who was commentating the Scotland-Hungary doubles. I understand that it was 13-4.
13-3.
32. It's a great performance over on Facebook by Scott there.
Not going to take the commentary, but I was heavily advertising you on here. So you're doing a good job, Dave.
So, sorry, but a slight break in commentary there, but you probably observed that Jack made a good hit with his first shot there. The Turkish player put it back. He now Jack to shoot again. He's made it again, so it's some good shooting from Jack there. And the pointer's put it back again. So Jack's third ball. Hit his first 2 in this end. Yeah, he's made it again. He's a bit unlucky there because he's caught his own ball as well. Having said that, Scotland do hold 2 on the ground, albeit at some distance, and it's 3 plays 3. So it could be one of those situations where their shooting is pointing, and that pointer might well be shooting. Not that either. I mean, dab hands. So he's played a defensive shot short there. That's entirely intentional because of where the ball are. Because Scotland held first and second, albeit at distance, he's put that ball short because he doesn't want Robbie to keep shooting. And he imagines at least that it's going to be hard to dig out a ball that short. So Robbie's not taking the bait. I think he's just going to point. It's a nice point, but obviously the Turkish intention now is that he may be able to shoot. Not certain what I'll do here. As I say, 2 plays 2. Yeah, he's shooting. He's missed the shot. So the plan was a good one if he'd have made that hit. But now, an interesting situation. I think he'll need to point to ensure that Robbie's forced to shoot twice if there's that level of ambition. It's a very good ball. It seems clear to me that Robbie will shoot the first one. So just, I'll move that in a bit closer, folks, to see that the Turkish player is probably second, probably isn't holding, sitting just in front of the Kosh. Were the Kosh to move back, it seems likely that it would favour Scotland. But there's also, and I think that's maybe what Robbie's looking at, and I'll keep this close, I think he might be looking at a Kosh roll, because Scotland have two of the most obvious back ball. Yeah, he's played the Kosh roll. Fantastic shot by Robbie. So that's fantastic. I think that Kosh roll's probably made it 3, I suspect. I may be wrong, or maybe not. Maybe it's only made it 1 or 2. Maybe it's actually going to have to pull it back even further to make this the best possible shot. So you'll see it coming in now. Pretty certain he's looking to move it back again. And he's done it. Again, now they're looking to see whether it's brought in the back ball that you're looking at against the silver front ball. Brilliant play, Robbie. Yeah, so that's actually brought in 4, made that 4. So that's a fantastic shot for Robbie. Hopefully we'll see that on YouTube short clips later on. So back to 9-8. That was a really good end for Scotland and beautifully manufactured and worked out by the team and delivered by Robbie. 9-8, around an 8-metre flush. Well, that's kicked on a bit from Rob, maybe slightly flatter than he intended. Metre behind the flush. Yeah, good shot by the Turkish pointer. We're going to have a look at this one. It's, let's say, an old-fashioned foot cast. It's also partially lined up with Robbie's ball at the back. Yeah, it's an important point in the game, though. I'll actually give this some thought. Yeah, they're going to point, I think, on balance, that's what I would have done. So now it is a shot, because that's a decent second from Robbie. Tackle from Jack. So 5 ball play 3. Scotland's holding those 2 that you can see on the ground. Oh, it's a cracking shot from Turkish player there. I wasn't sure that he'd shoot, but not only did he shoot, he's hopped into a lovely position in front of Jack. Ball sitting maybe 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters in front of the jack.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Unfortunately, you'd have rather hit it straight and pick up the cross and kill it, but that's one Turkish ball that's unlikely to count in this end. Back comes Turkey, sticks the ball on. Yeah, the lot to go, I guess, defensive, although there's 2 defensive options here. One is simply to shoot the ball off the park and reduce the potential for Turkey. Yeah, I think that's probably what they're chatting about. They can play a defensive point or 2 here, hope to complicate the game. They can shoot essentially twice, reducing the number that Turkey would end up getting. But yeah, they've opted for the point. That's a good ball there from Robbie. I mean, obviously he's not holding, but was unlikely so to be. It's one of those front ball that if they're forced to shoot it can cause a little bit of mayhem. Suspect Robbie's main intention now will be to try and rest or come inside the shot ball. Probably wants to leave that front ball exactly where it is. Oh, sorry, it's Jack's ball, I should say, but the same calculation. Yeah, that's a great ball. So he's come up straight behind that, obviously effectively taking out the shoot. Well, we'll see how brave Turkey feel, but possibly taking out the shoot. And now it's a fairly difficult point to make. There's an option for the pointer to look to split those 2. Doesn't want to be too brave because if he picks up the kosh, that's both Robbie's ball waiting at the back there. Okay, so they're going to shoot the front one. I see some point in that, but it's not risk-free. He's made the hit. He's made the hit now, and it's now 3rd. We see the value there of value there of the ball that Jack plays. I think now maybe yeah. So it's 9-8. There's a marquee shot here, but I think he'd be ill-advised to take it. Marquee shot would be to hope that he can shift both of those 2 front ball. He's going for it, and he missed it. So 10-8. So that's the whistle gone. Yeah, so that'll be 2 ends after this. So essentially 3 ends to play in this game. Just a reminder that the women's team have already had an overwhelming victory against Hungary. So this is a 6-meter kosh. Interesting tactic. They're 6 meters, 9-8. Sorry, 10-8 ahead. It's Jack to shoot. Oh, it's just that quite a lot. Right? Zach's second shot. Yeah, he's hit that there, but he's pushed it out. The I think the Turkish game plan here will be fairly clear. They're 3-1. Sorry, 5 ball to 3 up. So 5 ball to 4 up. It was 3 up to Robbie's throwing this one. I'd be surprised if they didn't shoot anything vaguely close. Yeah, he'll certainly have a go at that one. Back with me.
Right, it.
A successful shot for Turkey then. We'll try and put this back.
Bravo, Robbie.
We got 2 late.
Bravo, Robbie.
That's a good shot by Rob. It's obviously would have wanted it even closer to the kosh because the Turks have got 3 balls to 1 now left to Jack. So and it's a short distance. So yeah, he's made Caro that. So kind of last chance saloon here really. The Turkish have got more ball than they need on the ground. They probably hold 4 on the ground. Probably resting the ball. Or at least
Come on, Jack.
or they're resting the ball or sitting in front of the kosh. The chance at least that it would not go dead and reach some of those back ball, but it's a difficult situation now. Oh, now I think what he played for in the end, I think he played to scuttle the kosh probably towards the back. So a good performance in Scotland, but not enough for victory. Scotland lose 13-8. We'll be back later.